Welcome back, Tulsa. You're watching Tasting Oklahoma inside the beautiful Galley Sink Test Kitchen at Kitchen Ideas. Our audience has just enjoyed their second course, and now it's time to head back to the kitchen for course number 3. Welcome back to Tasting Oklahoma. This is getting ready to be our third course of our first episode on the new show on the new channel. Did I get that right? I don't know. Anyway, how was the salad course? All right, so next up, we're going to go carnivorous again. And most people know that I don't eat a lot of chicken because, well, pardon? No, it actually has nothing to do with the fact that I own them. I don't eat my chickens. I name my chickens, and they're there for eggs. But no, I don't eat much chicken because most people eat boneless, skinless chicken breast that has no flavor and it's dry and there's no fat in it, and that's awesome. And if I'm going to eat chicken, I'm going to eat the thighs because it's the nice dark meat, and it's juicy, and it's got the crispy skin, and it's nice and fatty, and frankly, it's stupid easy to make. Literally, I'm not even going to show you how I made the chicken. I'm going to tell you that I took chicken thighs, I put them on a foil-lined pan, I put a little wire rack over it, sprinkled some salt on them, threw them in the oven at 425 degrees, and left them there until they were nice and brown and crispy, and that's it. Again, making a meal that anyone in the house can make. No excuses. But what we're going to do with it is kind of funky, and it's kind of like last year when I did shaved white chocolate on raw tuna, and everybody looked at me and went, that's disgusting. So this recipe, we're going to do a coffee vanilla chicken, and this actually, a couple of friends of mine, a couple of sisters from Denmark made this dish. And I said, that's really delicious. And when I decided to do vanilla, this is kind of one of those things that I like and I pull out once in a while. I said, you know what? I'm going to go Esther and Marie tonight. And so we've actually got the chicken thighs in here cooking up. We're going to serve it with a wild rice blend. There's some lentils in there. There's it's a brown rice. Actually, I think we used a brown rice blend. We did. We changed our mind yesterday. And so we're going to put some brandy cherries. So I've got some dried cherries. These are a tart cherry. Of course, by the time that they dry down, all of the sugar in there is concentrated, and they're kind of sweet. Plain old, non-fancy. Please don't use good brandy because we're going to throw it on dried fruit, and that's kind of a waste. The good news is when you're finished soaking these, after 6, 8, 12, 24, however many hours you feel like it, this brandy is going to turn nice and red and have some good cherry flavor. And what are we going to do with it?
Drink it.
Thank you. We'll make a cocktail with it. Okay. Anybody know what this is?
Endive.
You pronounce it any way you want, but yes. This is endive, endive. Those of us in Okie land call it endive. Those of us, in fact, Esther and Marie would tell you this is endive. We're going to cut this in half, and we're going to caramelize it. So anyway, so just like you would caramelize an onion, but you're going to do it on a low heat, and you're going to put some oil in there, and you're very, and of course I like butter, but you're going to cook that down low and slow until the natural sugars caramelize. This is going to brown and get tasty a whole lot faster because it's not an onion. We're going to pop those in there and ignore them, and by the magic of the Galley kitchen, we're going to find we've got something that looks somewhat like this. So again, we're going to basically, the cream sauce that we used for the scallops, easy, really simple, cheaty cheat. We're going to basically take that and just kind of swap out some flavors. So heat. Sorry, Johnny. I swear I'm not actually eating it. Okay, some really strong coffee. So a little espresso, whatever you want. Again, vanilla. You can use, they make a powder, which actually this is going to be have a little less natural sweetness than the paste, or you can go with the extract. But as long as you're getting pure vanilla, we're good. So here, we'll throw this in this one because we've been using the other. Add that. Same thing as earlier, except now this one we are going to season because we're not using anything super salty. And if you're one of those people that likes a little sweet with your savory with your sweet, depending on which course you're working with, if you want it a little bit sweeter, you can actually throw a little bit of brown sugar in there, especially since we're working with coffee, and strong coffee can kind of be a bit tannic. And so some people aren't super fond of that. If you're one of those people that kind of has to have melted Haagen-Dazs, in your mug in the morning. And we're going to let this reduce. Okay, so the brown rice blend, we basically cooked that just like you would any rice. Took a little bit of this coffee sauce, a little bit of butter, and that's basically it. It's all of this stuff is to taste. I'm not giving you specific amounts. If you want specific amounts, feel free to call, email, carrier pigeon, Facebook me, and I will send them to you. But the reason that I intentionally do not give you specific amounts is I like for people to go in and play with it and make it yours. If you like that stronger coffee flavor, if you want it a little sweeter, if you want more vanilla, less vanilla, I want you to go in your kitchen and say, this is the list of ingredients, and I want you to take it and I want you to make it your own. And so I want you to go home and feel your way through it, and if you add a little bit at a time, you really can't go wrong. Just don't, overload.